Hey guys, this is Amanda Nardozzi. Thanks for joining me here today. So for those of you that are new, welcome. We're going to hop into a full moon reading here. And I want to say a quick hello to friends that have been here before and are returning to see my face. I'm so touched that you're here because it's been forever since I've posted, but I've been feeling the call to do more readings, especially as of the last week or two. So I don't know what y'all are going through, but it's really coming up to bring something out there. So I'm like, all right, I could tune in and see what's going on. A lot of changes on my side of life. I transitioned into a new career, so I'm very busy. I've become a preschool teacher, and I've started pursuing my master's degree, and I enrolled in another university. So I'm going to 2 universities, and I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best. And we can talk more about that if you're interested in another day. But I'm pulling some cards so we can get into this a little bit more and touch on this energy that I'm feeling, because it's kind of strong, which makes sense because it's around the full moon time that I'm posting this and connecting. But my ferret has been sick too, so he's actually doing well. He's been showing a lot of strength, a lot more strength than I expected from him, and very much fits his personality because he's always been pretty persistent. So I'm like, I can't even say that I'm surprised. Go Oliver. He's been a little monster all his life. So, of course, if he's going to leave this life, it's going to be kicking and screaming. So he is actually doing well. But he is scheduled for surgery here soon. So wish us luck. But yeah, I've been pretty busy on this end, but I definitely want to hop into tarot more. I am hosting, whenever this is posted, I'm hosting a live with my friend tomorrow. Maybe not tomorrow. I'm filming this on the full moon, January 13th. But if you follow me on Instagram at Wishko the Ferret, I'm also Amanda Nardozzi there too, but I think the username, you can look me up through Wishko the Ferret. But I will be on there with a friend hosting private readings, and we're just going to go back and forth. She'll read for a minute, I'll read the same person for a minute, and then we'll just feed off of each other. She's an amazing psychic. We're just honestly going to sit there. We're not even going to use cards. I don't even know why I use cards. I could probably just tune in as is now. But what I like to do is I like to pull just to get a focus, because Spirit usually comes through with a lot of stuff. So that being said, just keep that in mind. I will probably post an update on Instagram. You can also look in my bio for that too. Not bio. Why did I say bio? That's weird. You can look at the description box. This is YouTube. You can look into the description box for the link to the to my Instagram account, and I'll probably post a little thing there. I'll post something on my YouTube community too. So if you're not an Instagram follower, I think you do need an account to view the live. But anyway, I pulled some cards. Let's get into it. So the first thing that I have is the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands is about boundaries. Some of you need to scale back on your responsibilities. I gotta make sure some of these messages aren't for me, because I feel like they're also talking to me when they say that. Some of you need to have boundaries with some of the things in your life. Some things that you want to achieve or accomplish may need to be put on hold. Some of you just might not be feeling it right now. I'm getting that some of you might, I'm hearing some of it just doesn't pass the vibe check right now. And that's okay. There might be some projects that maybe you have as long-term goals that you're just not willing to pursue right now. So just make sure you're not taking on too much. And that's actually kind of the vibe that I feel was brought to this reading, as I actually, when I was shuffling, the Ten of Wands was trying to jump out. So just make sure you're not, that's typically a sign of trying to work too hard. So just make sure that you're not taking on too much, that you're not working too hard. I also just with these other cards, I'm getting a lot of circular imagery. So Spirit wants me to remind you that it does all come full circle. So if you think you're not really going the direction that you want, just understand that it will come back to you, or you will go back to whatever this thing is that you want to accomplish, achieve, or the point in life where you want to be at. There's this weird I should be in a different place, or it's I'm hearing I should be in a different space, or I should be in a different time. There's this weird confusion or disjointed. It's almost you feel like you're living in a parallel world or something. Or it's in another world or in another life. this would be my reality. And Spirit's like, that's not really the way to think. It's weird because it's like it makes me feel like for example, like if you're working in food service or something, or if you have encountered so many challenges that it's putting financial pressure on you, and you're like, gosh, like in another life, if I made this other decision, this one decision that changed my whole trajectory, or like in another life, maybe I have all this money or something like that. Like there's something that if the slightest thing changed, or if you made different choices, or I'm hearing like if things were better, then everything would be okay. It is going to be okay. You just need to give it more time. It's almost like you'll want to be here, and you feel like the path to get there, like, because you're right here and you want to be here, right? But it's almost like you're going this way, and you're like, why am I not going in the direction of my thing? And just understand that it will come full circle and it will go back. It's like a weird roundabout way. It's not linear. You have the Ace of Pentacles. For some of you, this is actually a new financial adventure you're thinking of. Some of you are like, get me the out of this job. Get me out of this, like, whatever I'm in now. And some of you, I'm actually getting, for a lot of you, this is a side business or a side hustle you're trying to start up. So you're not necessarily trying to leave where you're at right now. It might be somewhere down the line. It's almost like you want to get that new financial adventure going, or you have an idea. A lot of you, it's just an idea and you haven't really acted on it yet, or you've thought about, I'm hearing like you've put a lot of thought into this. I'm seeing some of you daydream. Like I'm seeing someone put their head in their hand and they're kind of looking up and like their head in the clouds. But I feel like that's all that's been happening, is that like, I feel like you imagined it in such detail too. It's like you have like, it's almost like, I'm getting like, oh, like, you know, like just as an example, I'm going to run a YouTube channel and this video is going to be about this particular topic. And this other video is going to be about this topic. And you've come up with all these topics, and then you've broken down each video to like all of the different subcategories it's going to be and everything. And it's like you put in all of this thought to all of these details. And all of this energy is being put into the planning stage of something that you're not even putting your foot forward on. And it's almost like Spirit's like, okay, like, you know, you have enough. You've done enough research. I'm hearing like enough is enough with the research. You just need to start doing. You need to get going. And part of you, like, it's almost like you're afraid to move your feet because the Four of Cups is here. The Four of Cups is about stagnation. And that's mainly because you have all of these options and you're afraid that taking one is not like, okay, let me demonstrate the Four of Cups for you. You have a lot of opportunities. You have a lot of different methods or different ways of doing something. And every cup that you choose and you sip out of, you're like, this isn't quite right. This doesn't taste right. And there's almost this fear, like some of you might have a history of making choices that you felt were good. And then once you were in them, you felt like they weren't as good. And you were like, gosh, that felt like it was the I don't want to say like the magical key to my happiness, but it's almost like, well, you know, that felt better than it actually turned out to be. And it's almost like you're not trusting your intuition and moving forward. I do think that the answer here is that it's in your perspective. There's more charm in your life than you realize, but it's the perspective of, it's almost like there's like a natural lens here of viewing things negatively or being unhappy. I'm hearing like you're unsure, like you're unsure of where you want to set your foot because you're afraid of being unhappy or you're afraid of making the wrong choice. And, you know, it is that cliche, like happiness does come from within. Just make sure you're not holding a negative lens to things so that when you do pick a choice that does align with your intuition, that you're not walking into something that falls short of really high expectations or expecting this thing to make you happy or feel fulfilled, when really a lot of that comes from being able to observe, recognize, and appreciate the things that you like about something. So that is a habit that needs to be cultivated. So just recognize that it is a practice, that I say happiness is a practice of gratitude. So if you're not used to practicing gratitude now is the time to start. But I do feel like that feels like a separate issue entirely, but the Four of Cups kind of leads off into that message, because the Four of Cups talks about never feeling fully satisfied with any cup that you drink from, and it is the fear that you will never be satisfied from any cup that you drink from. But if you, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that the next cup you drink from, if you follow your intuition, it's going to taste just as sweet as you imagine it, because it might at first, but then it sours after a while once you get used to it, and it's because there's no practice of gratitude. So there is kind of that, sorry, I have to throw logic at you, but there is that, reality that, we have to face when it comes to, okay, now we've adjusted to like the choices that we made and the happiness that we've achieved in life, like it's like when we make those choices that lead us to our success, and it's like, okay, now that I'm here, but there's always going to be, reality coming in. There's always going to be like the problems that come with it, like, oh, I have a lot of money now. It's like, okay, now your time and attention are going to be spent in other ways. It's not going to be spent on, trying to achieve the success. It's going to be maintaining the success. And in maintaining always comes its own challenges. So just be aware of that. And try not to let the fear of, not drinking the sweetest or, most perfect or well-balanced taste. That's like a weird phrase that came to mind that's coming up. It's like you want things to be well-balanced. Or I'm detecting a desire for things to be well-balanced. Sorry, that came out of nowhere and threw me off of my whatever I was channeling. But don't let the fear of not tasting what you want stop you from actually putting in the work of making the choice and saying, this is the cup that I choose. Okay. So, there's that. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I've also been fighting bronchitis for like about a week and a half now. So the thing about being a teacher is like, I'm constantly surrounded by little petri dishes on legs, so bear with me. So you have the Three of Pentacles, so I do feel like the Three of Pentacles says that your success comes by working collaboratively with other people. I can't tell if this is actually focusing or not, so I'm just going to trust and believe that you see this. But the Three of Pentacles in this deck, they're building a tapestry together. They're weaving the tapestry together. Some of them are planning. Some of them are doing some of them are doing like the heavy work on the bottom. Some of them are guiding and holding it up so that we could see. So everybody has a different part to play. Some of it bigger than others, and some of it like you like rotate through it, so no part is equally as, no part is bigger or more important than the other because they're all necessary to complete the task. So try not to get too wrapped up in, I guess, what they call like an ego trip or whatever of, oh, this person is putting in more of the work, so this is their project. No, this is all of your projects for when you do collaborate. This is everybody's project involved. I do feel like everything is equally important. Obviously, make sure you're pulling your weight, but if it comes to feeling like you don't have your own stake in the project because somebody else is seems to have a more important job or whatever, try not to think of it like that because, again, everybody's role is important. And I do feel like for some of you, this is a work project, and for some of you, this is like that new Ace of Pentacles venture that you want to start up. Some of you, it's going to be, I'm getting that it's just a doorway of opportunity. It's up to you whether you want to walk through it or not and take full advantage of what you see on the other side. For some of you, this is the doorway to that world, and you're able to see what is available to you through working with somebody else or multiple people. Or in a group project. So there is an opportunity here, or there is like a method, or I wouldn't say method, but it's almost like you're in a group of people, or there is like a singular someone that you can do like a joint project with that could bring something to light, right? And just know that for whatever reason, I don't know if you've been hesitant to do this project on your own, or if like maybe you haven't really approached it at all in this type of way, but there's something new. Like there's something that they're giving you. Excuse me. They're giving you a chance. I'm hearing like redemption. So for some of you, you might have actually tried to start something like this before, and you've kind of failed to get the ball rolling on your own, or you were like, I don't really want to do that by myself, or it just didn't work out, or I'm hearing it wasn't in the cards. That doesn't feel like, it feels almost like it's an excuse when you say, oh, it wasn't in the cards, or it just didn't happen for me. Like, it feels like you just didn't put the movement in. You didn't walk forward through it. But in this sense, they are helping you walk through the door, and they're here to help spiritually. Their reasoning for working with you is to help push you through this doorway so that you can see what is available to you. I'm hearing like to see what you're missing. So I do feel like this is something you could have done before, but it's okay that you're doing this now, because like whatever you're trying to manifest, Spirit's like, this is meant for you, which is why we're shoving it in your face. Like, this is why we're giving you somebody to help you push. A lot of you, like when I'm telling this to you, like this is like you already know these people. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, then this is your cue to find people. This is your cue to join Facebook groups or online groups somewhere, or a group in your area if you're able. If you're watching this, then you can go online and find somebody to help you. But there's always a group to join. There's always a community to be a part of, to leave comments on, to engage with content. We live in a very blessed world right now where we have access to internet and we can connect with all kinds of people from all walks of life. Just get out there and start networking or start talking to people, maybe not even with like the goal to create. I mean, I do feel like you can create friendships that way. I feel like some of you have been holding back from that. And I'm also getting, for some reason, there's like a crowd of people watching where you have a lot of online friends, or like the best relationships that you have are online friends. So those people are coming forward right now. Or like that energy is like coming at me right now, but it is possible if you feel like it's not possible. For those of you who already do have those relationship spirits, like reach out to those relationships and work with them. But I do feel like for a lot of you, this is already like in your face, right? This opportunity has already been presented to you, or like you've been talking with a friend and they're like, oh yeah, we should do this. So the idea has already been put out there. I'm hearing like we've been feeding you thoughts. We've been feeding you ideas. So the Spirit just wants you to kind of act on that. You also have the World. I'm going to pull one more card after this, but you have the World. Again, this is the it all comes full circle card. Just trust and understand that this does come to you over time. Let me get a reading on the World here for a second. And you will complete this project and see it through. So don't doubt that you won't be there. I'm hearing just engage with the content. Just engage with it. I feel like a lot of you, I'm hearing like it's effortless for you. Whatever this is about to be, some of you might have to do some legwork, but I feel like I'm hearing like, no, this is going to be effortless for you. This is like second nature. Whatever you're trying to do, like, it's easy. Like, man, like, quit your worrying. Like, quit thinking this is not like something that, I'm not going to say that you're going to get like immediate overnight success with it. But the work itself, first of all, I'm hearing like you deserve all of the success. Like I'm actually seeing coins raining from the sky. You deserve that. So it's not even a question of whether you deserve the money that would come from this adventure. But no, that's it. Like, don't even question that it's not for you. Because again, they're pushing you into it because they want you to fully take action on kind of what they wanted you to take action on before. So let me pull one more because I'm feeling the need to kind of close it out with something. And then I'm going to tune in psychically and see if there's like anything else that we got to share with our audience today. Ten of Wands. Y'all, what did I just say about the Ten of Wands trying to make its appearance? You know, here it go. Trying to jump out of the deck. So Ten of Wands, I told you before, I'm telling you again, Spirit was like, don't make us say the same thing twice. But I will, because the card popped out, because it's just confirmation of what we were talking about before. But I said before that the Ten of Wands kept popping out. Just make sure that you're really just putting a lot on your plate. You do have a buffet style type of life going on right now where you have a lot of opportunity. And I feel like we always do, but I feel like a lot of this opportunity is in your face. You have a lot to feast on. I'm getting the chills because I know what they want me to talk about. I literally just told my friend this the other day. we were having a conversation, and she was telling me about her shift in perspective, and I was telling her I have acquired like this strange shift in perspective of like, yes, I am, I guess, what a lot of people would call busy with 2 universities and taking care of a ferret and being a preschool teacher and all this other stuff. And a lot of people say, oh, like, you're doing all of that. They say, so you must be very busy. And a lot of people in my position or who would take on a lot, I don't even want to phrase it like that, because it's almost like you're letting your circumstances rule your energy rather than saying, okay, like, what's the reality? The reality in it is that I'm pursuing a master's degree that is self-paced. So if I want to extend it, I can do that. That's why I chose that university, so I can accelerate or I can slow it down if I need to, right? And yeah, there are deadlines for some things, but I have the freedom to work on things whenever I want. And this is the same thing for, like, I can work on things whenever I want. Like, that's literally just it. Like, I have a lot to pick from when I'm filling my time with things. We are always busy with something. Whether it be I'm busy watching TV, I'm busy doing this reading, I'm busy studying for my course or whatever, I'm busy preparing for, teaching my kids tomorrow. There's a lot of things that you can busy yourself with. I could be busy playing video games that night for all I, you know what I mean? So instead of viewing my circumstances as ruling me and saying, oh my gosh, like I am, because then there's almost like a feeling of overwhelm that comes with, oh, I have so much to do and so much to tackle. But if I reframe it as, I can choose to do whatever I want right now. And even if you don't have that freedom, you can say, oh, I get to do this right now. And then you can look forward to, oh, like, yes, like, I can play this video game later, I can watch this show later, or I can rest later, like, looking at it as, I have the opportunity to do this. So try not to get bogged down with that energy of have to. Because when you take on the energy of have to rather than I get to, then everything feels more like a chore and it takes longer to get through tasks. It doesn't satisfy you fully when you could actually be enjoying this part of your life. But I see you working hard through it, but I see you willingly working hard through it. Working hard is not a bad thing. I see you willingly and happily working hard on things. So that being said, we talked with the tarot a little bit. Let me see if I could just psychically pull stuff, because I was feeling the full moon energy. So let's see if we have any guidance from our angels today. And I always call in Archangel Michael for loving and healing information to protect us, to keep me safe in this exchange. I always call on Archangel Raphael. Okay, there's another Archangel actually coming through. I call on Archangel Raphael to provide the highest healing information, but Archangel Uriel is actually coming through too. Archangel Uriel helps other people shine their light. It's like the harbinger of truth too. I know there's like another angel that's like communication and talks about truth, but for some reason Uriel is coming through with that. I feel like Archangel Uriel is strong in your energy right now. There is something about shining your light and shining it strong, but behind this light, there's like a strong authenticity. There's strong speaking up and speaking your truth, but it's like you're a leader because of your speaking, because you're speaking your truth. I'm sorry. Because you're speaking your truth. Like you're a leader because of it. Let me see what I got. That's an interesting view. So they're showing me somebody who's holding a pen, and instead of writing on paper, they're holding out their wrist and writing on it. That could mean so many things. So give me something else. Because it is something about writing your story, but it's almost like you're etching on yourself in ink. There's some defining story that's a part of you that is coming out to the world, or that you would like to bring out to the world. For some of you, you're writing a book. For some, there's a documentary coming up for some of you. There's like some type of documentary work. There's some way to get it out. And I'm hearing like you need to do this task. So some of you are holding back and you're not really doing the work on something, and Spirit's like, if there's a task that's like really boring, or you're holding back because there's something that you're not, there's like a particular boring or mundane part of something that you're trying to do, Spirit's like, do that task, get it out of the way. For some of you, it's actually doing the thing and moving your feet on that project. But for a lot of you, it is telling your story in some way. Whatever this defining moment is for you that you are like inking yourself up with in this imagery. Usually people get tattoos of things that mean something or that's highly symbolic to them. But this story is like you're etching it in you. It will live on in you forever, and you will help other people with it. Don't be afraid about forgetting it, because you definitely won't be forgetting it. Also, just as a heads up, this is something that's going to help other people's children one day. So I'm actually seeing you changing the lives of other people. And because of that, their children will lead better lives. Don't know why that specific message is coming through. But apply that as you see fit. Do we have anything else to say about this moment in time? I'm posting this during the full moon. I believe it's the full moon in Cancer. Anything for our friends that are watching this as it drops? I'm hearing wait out the storm. It's not as bad as it seems, but just wait it out because it will pass. And I don't think it leaves any strong, I don't see any strong scuff marks left from the storm. I don't see any long-term like destruction or anything. It doesn't feel like that at all. It feels like it might be like a little bit of tidying up, like broom and dustpan, not like hardcore scrubbing for years. Like, excuse me, it doesn't feel like there's going to be any, if there's a concern that this storm is going to leave long-term damage on your life, I don't think that's not the case. It doesn't feel like that's the case. I'm hearing, oh, interesting. It's like a weird imagery. They're like, someone's hand is in front of their face and they're pulling it down and they're saying, oh, wait, that's the sign language for mad. That's what they're saying. Because what I'm hearing is someone saying, I do have feelings. But it's the way they're saying it, but like this is the sign language for angry or mad. So that's so funny. So I haven't used that sign in a long time. Sometimes I will speak in other languages, like languages that I have studied in the past, and I'm like, what in the world does that mean? But this is kind of affirming there. This is a time where you're affirming, like, I do have feelings. So it's almost like if you're angry or upset about something, this is the time to speak up. And I'm hearing, like, quote yourself. So some of you are getting amped up behind closed doors and you're like, you can't talk to me like that, instead of talking to this person or this, like, energy, this job, whatever. Whoever's dissing you, whoever's, like, getting on your nerves, it's almost like you're behind closed doors and you're, like, saying your piece respectfully, say this to them. Like, it's like, make sure that you're honoring and acknowledging your feelings. There's a concern that it will blow up in your face, but I feel like if it's work, definitely make sure you're presenting it in a professional way. If it is more in your personal life, I am getting like there's a key of it being more in your personal life. You can stand up for yourself in this way. Just make sure that you are honoring those feelings of frustration and anger, that you are being open about that and saying, like, I do have feelings, because I feel like some people are treating you like you don't have feelings, or they're talking to you like you don't have feelings, and you very much do. And you very much can say that you have feelings and that they're hurt or that you're upset about something. But it comes first, it comes first with acknowledging your own pain. Okay? So acknowledge your own frustration first, and then figure out how to navigate it from there. But acknowledge to yourself first that you're angry, and it's okay to be angry. And then it's up to you what you want to do with it. Some of you might decide to solve it on your own anyway, and that's okay. But there is an encouragement to speak up about it and to say that, yes, I'm angry. But I think that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for joining me. And as of course, definitely check the Instagram live coming up tomorrow. It is, I don't know if I mentioned this, but it is going to be 9 p.m. EST and 7 p.m. MST. For those of you that are looking forward to watching, it's just going to be me and my friend bouncing back and forth, reading just whoever comes in, because we're just trying to figure out how the live works. And hopefully, depending on how that goes, there will be more to come. So that being said, I love you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.